Good morning, cadets. Today we shall discuss a very important aspect of capacitors, that is combination of capacitors. Whenever we need some value of capacitance of a capacitor, it may not be available at that moment. Then we will be thinking of combining the available capacitors, capacitors to get the required effective capacitor. So that is what we call it as combination of capacitors. So if C1, C2, C3, C4 capacitors are available in the circuit or in the laboratory, suppose there are capacitors like C1, C2, C3, C4 and so on, right? If we want some value of capacitance, then with proper combination of these capacitors, we will be able to get the required value of capacitance, right? So there are two types of combination of capacitors. One is series combination, another one is parallel combination. Combination. So what happens when we connect two capacitors of capacitances C1 and C2 in series? What happens to the total capacitance of the system of these two capacitors connected in series? Let us see first the series combination of capacitors. So parallel combination, we will learn it afterwards. So when two capacitors, let us say we are taking only two capacitors C1 and C2, if they are connected in this manner, these are the connecting leads. So you can see the right terminal, the right side plate, second plate of the first capacitor is connected to first plate of the second capacitor. The right plate or the right terminal is connected to the left terminal of the second capacitor. Suppose this is a capacitor of capacitance C1 and this is capacitor of capacitance C2. If they are combined left to right in this manner, then this is called as series combination. Now when this is connected to a battery and charged, interesting thing takes place. When it is connected to a battery of potential difference, say V, is connected to this combination of C1, C2 taken in series. Now charging takes place simultaneously. See, the left terminal, the left plate of the first capacitor C1 is connected to the positive terminal, the right plate and the right terminal of the second capacitor is connected to the negative terminal. So as a result, the first plate of C1 goes on charging with positive charge density and the second plate of the C2 goes on charging with negative charge. So for every positive charge that is developed here, you will find a negative charge being developed. Means when it is connected to positive terminal, since the positive potential attracts the electrons being negatively charged, the electrons are attracted towards the positive charged plate, that is positive potential of the battery. So when one electron is pulled, it leaves one positive charge. So when one electron is pulled here, that electron is supplied here. That's how the circuit is completed. So if there are, let us say, q amount of charge 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I have just drawn 7. Ultimately you will find 7 electrons getting deposited here, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the amount of charge, if it is plus q here, you will get minus q here. In this way the charging starts taking place. As a result, what happens, since the immediate plate here is being conductor, it induces the opposite charge. Charging by induction takes place with opposite charge. So, same amount of positive charge is developed here, and here also once the left side plate of the C1 is positively charged with q amount of charge, it will induce same amount of negative charge. So, same amount of negative charge, and you can see very interestingly the charge on both the capacitors remains same, plus q minus q plus q minus q. So, I have taken only two capacitors here connected in series. So, if you take as many number of capacitors as possible, C1, C2, C3, C4, if they are connected in this fashion in series, then if the entire combination system is connected to a source of battery, source of voltage, source of potential difference, when the charging takes place, charge on each plate remains same. Charge on each plate remains same. So, when C1 and C2 are connected in series, and the system of combination is charged, and the system of combination is charged with potential difference V, then charge Q remains same or constant, charge Q remains constant on each plate. It means on each plate you will find plus q minus q plus q minus q charge respectively. So, charge q remains same. This is a very interesting situation. When the charge q remains same, then what happens? The potential difference divides. You see, when the charge q remains same, accordingly, if C1 is the capacitance, then the potential difference here across these two terminals, suppose I am taking these two as terminals across C1, then this will be charged with potential difference V1, and this will be developing a potential difference V2. So, that the total potential difference V across the system of combination now becomes V equal to V1 plus V2. V equal to V1 plus V2. You see, so Q is equal to C1 V1, and for this second one Q equal to C2 V2, such that the potential difference across the combination, which combination is this? Across series combination. Potential difference across series combination, V becomes equal to V1 plus V2, where V1 is the potential difference across the capacitor C1, V2 is the potential difference across capacitor of capacitance C2. So, you can just substitute what is V1 here and what is V2 here. So, when you substitute, V1 becomes Q by C1 plus V2 becomes Q by C2. Thus, we get V equal to Q, take out Q common, into 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2. Remember, Q remains constant. So, take this Q to the LHS. Therefore, V by C, V by Q, okay, V by Q thus becomes equal to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2. So, if we take Q by V as equivalent capacitance of this combination. The entire combination, if you take it as one equivalent capacitor or effective capacitor of capacitance C, then that C is equal to Q by V. Therefore, 1 by C is equal to V by Q. Here, Q by V is equal to C is the effective capacitance, effective capacitance of the combination. So, if Q by V is equal to C, then V by Q is equal to 1 by C. Thus, we get 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 is equal to 1 by C. So, this is the very important relation connecting the capacitance of the capacitors connected in series. So, when the capacitors are connected in series, right, then the total effective capacitance of the system of capacitors connected in series is given by 1 by C is equal to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2, 1 by C equal to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2. In another way, reciprocal of the effective capacitance of the capacitors connected in series is equal to sum of the reciprocals of the capacitance of the capacitors, individual capacitors, right. So, we can just write here for effective capacitance, therefore, you can just write for series reciprocal of effective capacitance, reciprocal of effective capacitance in series combination. In series combination, reciprocal of effective capacitance is equal to sum of reciprocals of individual capacitors, individual capacitances. This is very important thing to be remembered. It is just reverse. If you connect two resistors in series R1 and R2, we know when they are connected in series, current flowing through those two resistors I, the current I remains constant. As a result, the total effective resistance R is equal to R1 plus R2. But when they are capacitors, when the capacitors are connected in series, it is just reverse. 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 is equal to 1 by C, or 1 by C equal to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 and so on. If there are n number of capacitors, you can just write 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 plus and so on, 1 by Cn, where n represents nth capacitor Cn, then that becomes 1 by C. So, this is the equation to find the effective capacitance when the capacitors are connected in series. Now, let us quickly find out effective capacitance of the capacitors when they are connected in parallel. Please remember, very important thing, the charge on each plate Q remains constant. This is very important thing to be remembered. When Q remains constant, potential difference, total potential difference across this system divides. P divides into V1 across C1, V2 across C2. Then it becomes very easy to conclude this relation. Now, let us study parallel combination of capacitors. Let us again consider only two capacitors of capacitances C1 and C2. When such two capacitors are connected in such a way that both the left terminals of C1 and C2 are connected to one common terminal A, and both the right side terminals of C1 and C2 are connected to one common terminal B, then such a combination is called as parallel combination. So, C1 is in parallel with C2. So, this is the meaning of parallel combination of capacitors. When we have parallel combination, if these two common terminals A and B having the system of capacitors connected in parallel, if this system is charged by connecting to a battery, if it is charged by connecting to the battery, then suppose the total potential difference provided by the battery is V. Then interesting thing is that the potential difference across AB is the same as potential difference provided by the battery. So, entire potential difference V is provided across AB, and AB is a common potential, common terminal. A and B are the common terminals for C1, and A and B are the same terminals for C2. Therefore, potential difference across AB is the same as potential difference across the capacitor of capacitance C1 and potential difference across capacitor of capacitance C2. So, potential difference across C1 and C2 remains the same since they are connected to common terminals. In turn, these common terminals are connected to a source of voltage V. Therefore, the voltage remains same in both the capacitors. When capacitors C1 and C2, for convenience we have taken only two capacitors, then we can generalize it for any number of capacitors, say n number of capacitors connected in parallel. When capacitors C1 and C2 are connected in parallel as shown, connected in parallel, and when the combination, when this combination or when this system is connected across a source of supply, source of supply V, source of supply V, then potential difference V remains constant. Potential difference V remains constant across both capacitors. V remains same across both the capacitors. So, V across C1 will also be same, V across C2 will be also same. So, accordingly the charge will be divided now, right. If capacitor is charged with, let us say, Q1 charge plus Q1 and minus Q1 here, then capacitor C2 will be charged with Q2. The total charge is now divided into Q1 and Q2. So, here it is Q2 minus Q2. So, total charge is divided into Q equal to Q1 plus Q2. When V remains constant, then we get V equal to C1 by Q1, Q1 equal to CV. So, V is equal to Q by V is equal to Q by C. So, here it is going to be Q is equal to the Q remains, Q is equal to the charge across first capacitor Q1. Q1 is equal to C1 by C1V, see here, C1V, and Q2 equal to C2V. Q2 is equal to C2V, such that Q is equal to Q1 plus Q2. In the previous case, when the capacitors were connected in series, potential difference V is equal to V1 plus V2. Here the total charges supplied by the battery are divided according to the capacitance of the capacitors. Capacitance is nothing but the capacity to store the charges. So, C1 is having a capacitance to store charge Q1, C2 is having a capacitance to store charge Q2. Accordingly, the total charge that is supplied by the battery is divided into Q1 and Q2 respectively. So, Q is equal to Q1 plus Q2. As a result, if you look at it, we get C1V plus C2V. So, take out V common. So, that becomes C1 plus C2 into V. This is equal to Q. So, take this V to the left hand side, then it becomes Q by V, right. Q by V is equal to C1 plus C2. When you look at this, if you just think that this entire combination is one system, this entire combination is one system having a total charge Q with a potential, common potential difference V, then Q by V gives us equivalent capacitance of the combination C. So, Q by V is equal to C. Therefore, C is equal to C1 plus C2. This becomes the simple equation to find the capacitance, effective capacitance of the combination, parallel combination of capacitors. So, this is effective capacitance. Effective capacitance C, effective capacitance C is equal to C1 plus C2. Thus, we conclude when the capacitors are connected in series, since we have taken only two capacitors, if there are n number of capacitors connected in series, then effective capacitance C is equal to algebraic sum of the capacitances of those capacitors C1 plus C2 plus C3 plus so on Cn. So, the sum of the capacitances of the individual capacitors is equal to the capacitance of the effective capacitor, effective capacitance of the capacitors. Okay. So, that is how we can conclude. In parallel, remember this is in parallel. In parallel combination, the sum of capacitance, sum of the capacitances of individual capacitors is equal to sum of the capacitances of the individual capacitors is equal to the effective capacitance, effective capacitance of the combination. So, in parallel when they are connected, when the capacitors are connected in parallel, the total capacitance is equal to sum of the capacitances. When they are connected in series, then reciprocal of the effective capacitance is equal to sum of the reciprocals of the individual capacitances. Okay. We will solve many numerical problems based on this combination of capacitances, so that the things become very clear. Okay. The next video will solve numerical problems. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye.